Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Minnesota Vikings, led by their new quarterback, Kirk Cousins, go head-to-head against Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
2 teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. It'll be Aaron Rodgers under center, who was drafted by the Packers back in 2005 in the first round, now in his 14th year with Green Bay.
Just 7 starts in 2017 due to a collarbone injury. Tried to come back late in the year to rally the Packers into the playoffs. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. But one of the best competitors at the quarterback position in the NFL. He's lost Jordy Nelson, one of his best weapons. But he knows how to bring other guys along and turn them into valuable contributors.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. Pretty darn good. You see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, is his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That is caught at the 7. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. He got 29 yards that time. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And
he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Geronimo Allison, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Cousins now on second down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago. He took out some anger, some apparent anger against that defense. The yards just kept going up and up and up.
Yeah, he was just running up and down the field doing whatever he wanted. By the end of the game, he was seeing 2, sometimes 3 defenders on every snap. Yet he was still making play after play. It was like he was running routes versus air in practice.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 49 yards. Well, a big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week. Off to a really, really hot start.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Second down, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and we are tied. The kicks away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
On second down, Montgomery. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize the same sort of skills.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Going deep for Diggs. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And it is is incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some musket on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play. Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressed.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Listen to me.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. Well, we said after the turnover on downs, that's almost guaranteed points the other way. But I guess they weren't listening to the broadcast because they did not cash in for any good job to step up defensively.
We get that a lot, don't we? Where we hear a lot of people say they just don't listen to the broadcast. They feel like it works out better for them. It certainly did for this defense, didn't it? They didn't listen. They responded and shut them down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And that's going to be incomplete. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Rodgers going to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there. And he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Cousins to throw it. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Forbath out to kick this one away. Trevor Davis now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. Is anyone happy about the 3-point
kicker?
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Here's Rodgers. And Davis has it over the middle. Now he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, I mean, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now. The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you open up lanes for your runners.
To throw, it's Rodgers. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Rodgers now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A nice pickup on 1st down, 7 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And again, it's Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jimmy Graham, as the first half is winding down. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Crosby with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a big-time mess on the return. He's out of bounds. He won't even get this back to the 5-yard line.
Let's go.
Back near the goal line, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one all the way up to the 24. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Cousins now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really...
And he's into the clear. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Cousins. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Rodgers. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length.
And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Throw right side, caught by Davis. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
To throw is Rodgers. Open middle, Allison complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 18 yards there and a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's got his target. It's Cobb. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a first down as well.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, here's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards him.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And now out comes Minnesota. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Muhammad Wilkerson coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. The last 7 seasons in a Jet uniform for Wilkerson. Now a Packer, still making plays.
Yeah, those last 7 seasons produced 44.5 sacks. How about 2015? He had 12 sacks that season.
They've got his man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the return here is stopped at the 30. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for the and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Second down, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Mike Daniels in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremont Williams. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone. At the 19-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Time for a break. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And